Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pug Portraits. My name is Caleb. I am the Public Services Librarian at the Boyle County Public Library, and we're thrilled that you're taking this opportunity to check out this program. We're going to be uploading it to our YouTube channel here pretty soon. With us tonight is Brandon Long from the Art Center of the Bluegrass. We've worked with them this evening to make this program possible, so we appreciate this collaborative effort, and we've been doing a number of programs with the Art Center for the last year and looking forward to some more throughout the rest of the summer and into the fall, this being one of them. So welcome, and I'm going to turn this over to Brandon Long, who's going to teach you how to draw a pug, and then we hope you can take some of the skills you learn and translate them, if you don't own a pug, to your own pet.
Yeah, thanks, Caleb. I appreciate it. I'm coming to you guys live from my house in Lancaster, Kentucky. So if you look around, like this doesn't look like the Art Center. It's my dining room. So did my phone just drop? No, there it is. I see it. Okay. I'm trying to keep track of multiple screens here. As you can see, I've got this screen that has my face on it, and I have this screen that is my surface here. And that's one of the things we found is great about Zoom is we can actually show what I'm drawing a little bit better than we can if I were in front of a large room full of people with a big easel. So tonight we're going to learn a little bit about how to draw pugs. And at first we started out, when we were discussing this, we had talked about maybe like how to draw pets. And then we got to thinking there are a lot of pets. So we were thinking like to teach somebody how to draw cats and dogs and iguanas and goldfish, it would take quite a while. So we decided to settle on pugs because they're so darn cute. That's why. So I'm going to share my screen here, and I want to kind of do a little slideshow here of some pug images because I need a reference photo for this here for sure. And let's see. Yeah, so there's our little pug fella right there. I don't know if any of you guys are pug owners, but they're a really great breed of dog. They're really cute, got tons of personality. They're little feisty guys. And tonight I'm going to teach you how to draw a pug. And you kind of have to take a look and think about what qualifies as a pug. And while I was looking for inspiration pictures, I found some great references. This one is the summary of the pug head, if you ever knew that such a thing existed. This is from it's from the Pug Dog Illustrated Explication of the Standard by Leah Clark. And I suppose this is sort of what these breeders look for and what they look for when they're judging like these American Kennel Club, dog shows, that sort of thing. These are the standards of pug beauty right here. So the main reason that we're looking at this, if you wanted to, you could pause the video here and try to read all of this stuff here about all the different details. But the main information we're going to use is over here to the right, where it divides the head up into thirds. And artists use proportions as a way to draw sometimes kind of complicated, difficult things. And proportions kind of allow you to quickly size up and draw something without necessarily having it right in front of you. It's a trick that animators use a lot. A lot of artists that do figurative art use that with human proportions. They even have like these little mannequins you can look at. So this is going to be sort of our cheat sheet for the pug. So where we're going to start tonight is we're going to start with drawing a circle. And I'm going to try to keep pretty loose. I know it's tempting when you're drawing to just go whoop, 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 little sketchy lines. What we're going to do is we're going to draw using the arc of the wrist. I'm even moving at the elbow here a little bit like this, to make a nice circle. And one of the things I've also found kind of tricky about Zoom is sometimes your proportions can tend to go a little askew. Like sometimes I'll be like, ooh, this is a perfect circle. But then if I were to look at it on camera, I'm like, that's an oval, because I'm looking at it slightly at an angle. So we're going to start with a circle here. And we're going to, just like this picture suggests up here, we're going to divide this into thirds. So I'm going to roughly kind of chop this into thirds here. And now what we do is we look at where the features of the pug lie on these thirds here. So we're going to be looking at, let me also see if I can spotlight. Caleb, can you spotlight my drawing page now?
Yes, that one should be. I'll unpin your other one here.
Yeah, it's not important. People know what it looks like. Man, that's a good thing.
There we
All
go.
right, so what we're going to do is we're going to kind of focus on these thirds. So if we look, the top third of the pug is sort of the eyes and above up there. The middle third is the nose and the eyes, and the bottom part is sort of the chin. And if we look, if you even go even a little bit further and draw a line right through the middle there, that's kind of where the nose and eyes lie. So I'm going to go ahead and, since this is a symmetrical creature, same on both sides, bilateral symmetry. It's a beautiful thing. I'm going to draw a line that splits the two. And I'm sorry if my drawing is a little bit light over here. These are just sort of sketch lines. I'll darken them up here in just a bit. So the nose will go between these bottom two lines here. And it's sort of a inverted triangle shape there. The bottom part of the mouth down there just kind of goes up into about the middle of that third there. And the eyes will go right through that middle line there. So we'll be sure to give them some nice big eyes, because if you've ever seen a pug, you know they just have the biggest soul-searchingest eyes ever. Those little critters. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I would love to see in comments what name you've given your pug, because that would be either the pug you're drawing or the pug that you love in real life, because pugs always have the greatest names. Lots of Pugsley's out there. All right, so now I'm going to put the ears up top here. This is kind of rests on the top of the head. It's sort of a inverted triangle shape again. We'll just kind of keep it like that for right now. The details aren't all there just yet. And the ears droop down to about where the eyes go. Like all right, and once you learn these proportions for a pug, you could even do like a cartoon version of this. And my drawings end up looking a little bit cartoonish anyway sometimes. But you can kind of adapt this to your style. As long as you stick to these proportions, it's going to look like a pug. So let's put the mouth down here. And again, this mouth, if you think about it as sort of like an upside down soft letter Y here, kind of get that pug mouth. All right, so now let's start adding some wrinkles, because that's what everybody likes. These little fellas here, all the wrinkly bits. I'm going to kind of start stacking these in here. These eye wrinkles up top are pretty important. The forehead has a very definitive kind of wrinkle there. Pugs always kind of have this concerned look that I really like. Like, what's wrong? What's going on? You just want to squish them. Okay, well, this is your chance to say that the Boyle County Public Library does not condone squishing pugs.
Please don't squish your pugs.
You can squish the little cheeks, though. All right, so I'm going to put some little folds on the inside of the ears here. And continue putting a few little wrinkles in here. These wrinkles, you just kind of draw them like you see them. And they will vary slightly from one pug to another. This seems to be sort of a young pug, if that's such a thing, rather than sort of the older pugs. They get a little bit different features going on. All right, so that's sort of my rough outline. So I'm going to go ahead and, so you guys can see that a little bit better, I'm going to kind of go ahead and mark this in with a darker pencil here. And hopefully this will show up really nicely. You know, it would be a fun session, Caleb, is pug versus oh, now I'm drawing blank. Pug versus those big furry cats that also have a pug face. What are those things called?
Oh my gosh, I think I know what you're talking about, but I'm also drawing a blank right now.
My sister-in-law actually had one of those things, and I still can't remember what to call it. Put that in the comments if you're watching. Help us out.
We need an answer. If we don't get it in the comments, I'll be sure to get our reference librarian on the job.
Keep them busy.
We'll hunt this down.
All right, so now I'm going to kind of add some. As I'm drawing these lines in, now you can start to see like, wow, it looks like a pug, and that's sort of the rules of proportions. So you could draw if you're following these rules of proportions, you're able to look at something and divide it into different parts. That's all drawing is comparing one thing to the other thing, and to other things around it, and being able to sketch those details in quickly. You can draw pugs, you can draw cars, you can draw landscapes, just about anything, as long as you're sort of using your eyes, the tools that you are given. A lot of people talk about the artist hands and that kind of stuff. It's really more about your eyeballs and getting that information into your brain and onto the paper as quickly as you can. And I really like to think of drawing as a very magical activity, because if you think about it, a lot of times we forget how incredible it is to be able to draw, because what we're doing is we're taking information from a three-dimensional world out there, and we are putting it on paper, a two-dimensional surface, and we are relaying that information. So like to see this right here, whenever I get finished with it, it's going to look just like a pug. But what you're going to do is you're going to look at it and go like, it's a pug. Is it a pug? No, it's just a bunch of lines on paper. But the magic of drawing has allowed us to create something that looks just like the real deal, you know? And I try not to lose that sense of wonder. You know, I like to think about whenever when they did those cave paintings in the caves of Lascaux, you know, that it was, I'm sure that people walked into the cave and were like, wow, how did you get a bison in here, or whatever they were drawing, the bulls, I think they were in those paintings. And I'm sure it was just absolutely incredible for them to have imagined that, you know, be like a big screen TV now, you know, be high def drawings, those things. All right, so I'm giving a little nose coloration here. And if you've got colored pencil or even like, you know, watercolor paints and that kind of stuff, you'd probably be better at coloring this in. I'm just doing this as a real quick sketch kind of thing. And the ears are a little darker. Whenever I'm coloring in fur on an animal, I like to try to make sure that the fur kind of follows the contours and the shape of the thing that it's on. So these ears, I'm trying to imagine like little hairs on the ears that kind of go up and around and over like that. And again, I'm being really loose with this. If I were doing this as a completely finished drawing rather than a sketch, I'd spend a lot more time getting these shades and tones right. Let's see. Put in a little bit of color here. Notice that I'm changing my direction on my pencil as I draw these things on here to kind of follow the contours of the face there. And then the mouth part down here, a few more wrinkles that I didn't put in. And I'm being super fast with this. Trying to keep this video nice and short, because I know if you're watching this video, you can't wait to go draw your own pug, or somebody else's pug, or a pug you find on the internet. All right. And a fun tip about drawing pets is it's great exercise, because pets, a lot of times, they spend a lot of their time kind of sitting around. I know I've got some cats, and there are some days I don't know what they do because they don't move around too much. They make great drawing models, animals do, especially if you do little quick drawings of them. It's really great. All right, so let's see. I think I've about got him here. So that's sort of my quick how-to drawing of how to draw a pug. And you can apply these proportions to any of the pug faces. Now, it's going to be different from breed to breed. You can't necessarily split every dog breed into thirds like this, but the pug, one of the things I love about them is that they definitely have a lot of basic shapes going on in their construction as far as the drawing goes. So that's my pug there. You got any questions, Caleb? Any burning pug questions?
Oh my goodness. No, just I'm thinking where we were talking about pets being good models. I went down to Alabama a couple weeks ago, and a friend of mine has a beagle.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys are excitable. Might have to hold that one down a little bit just to get him to sit still.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I remember one of my older dogs was always just lounging around all day. So
Yeah.
they're good models for sure.
Right, especially cats. If they're not going absolutely wild, you can guarantee them they're just going to be sitting perfectly still. So there you go. So enjoy, and don't forget to check out the websites that Caleb mentioned earlier. What was it? Boyle County's website. What is it, Caleb?
So for the library's summer reading program, you'll want to visit Boyle, PUBLIB.org/summer reading. We'll be sure to put these links into the video description when we get it uploaded to YouTube, and also be sure to visit the Art Center at artcenterky.org, which yeah. I think I got that URL right, didn't I, Brandon?
Yeah, artcenterky.org.
Perfect. They have a lot of wonderful programs, and keep an eye out for our Crafting for Keeps program.
Yeah.
Which happens the first Tuesday now in July. June's already passed, but July is coming up. So you can find out more on that day, another activity with the Art Center. So we'll catch you later. Thanks for watching. And Brandon, thanks again for coming in and teaching us how to draw a pug.
Yeah, thanks. Enjoy.
Well, enjoy, everyone.